What's up everyone? Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. So today's video is going to be about this Maybelline makeup palette right here. It's actually an eyeshadow palette and it is called the Matte Bar. I've been using this palette for the last couple of weeks. I've used it 4 or 5 times now. So if you guys want to hear more about my thoughts and if I think that you should go out and purchase this product, then please keep watching. My name is Christine and I make beauty and life videos, so if you want to see more like this, then please subscribe down below. So a little bit about me: when I am looking for a specific eyeshadow or a palette, I generally gravitate towards matte eyeshadows a lot more, just because I feel like when you're taking photos, there's less of a glare or a shimmer, or I guess like a shine, whenever you are taking a photo, and your makeup looks pretty consistent and well blended throughout the entire photo, especially when the lighting is not the best. So that's just my preference. I know that shimmer colors are coming back in, just really glossy, or not so much glossy, but glowy looking eyeshadow, or just makeup in general is very in, but I'm still on the hunt for just like the best matte eyeshadow products that there are. Not even just the best, I just like to experiment with makeup. So when there's a different makeup palette out there that is a matte makeup palette, I always want to try it. This particular product here is called the Matte Bar, like I mentioned, and all of the colors are matte colors. What really drew me to this particular palette is the fact that there are a lot of the red and orange color. It's really in, it's very popular right now, that pop of red, but it's not too red. So I really wanted to try out this trend without breaking the bank. That was the number one thing that, or the number two, I guess, because the number one was the fact that they were all matte colors, but the number two was the fact that the colors were so beautiful. The colors are actually described from Maybelline as being inspired by the bricks of New York City. I was running errands and I just picked up a few things at Walmart and they happened to sell it, which I do follow Maybelline on Instagram, so I already saw that they had this palette available. It was on my list of things to purchase while I was at Walmart, so they happened to have it there and I picked it up for $9.98. I looked on their website and you can actually purchase this product at Walmart, Target, CVS, Walgreens, and Rite Aid. I did not see Ulta on the list of where you can purchase this palette, but I'm sure you can definitely find it at just your local Walmart or Target. The benefits or claims of this makeup product: soft and neutral to sun-baked brilliance, this must-have palette is designed with 10 warm eyeshadow shades that work together to achieve impactful makeup looks. The creamy and blendable formula melts onto your eyelids, while the high color pigments make your eyes stand out in sultry, spiced shades. So there's 10 shades. They claim to be creamy and blendable. It claims to have high pigmentation, so the color payoff should be pretty good. They're warm tone, sultry, spiced colors. Hence the brick red colors that are incorporated within the actual palette. What made me want to try the palette and what my initial reaction was is the fact that they were all matte colors, and like I mentioned, they have the brick red colors that are very in right now that I definitely wanted to try. And anytime I'm trying a makeup palette that has multiple colors like this, I am definitely looking for a palette that I can just carry with me and not have to carry any other products. I also want to make sure that I'm going to use pretty much every single color. Now, when I'm applying my eyeshadows, I like to blend 2 colors or maybe even sometimes 3 colors together. So right off the bat, I knew that I had to try this because they are a lot tinier, but they have really great color combinations. You can see that the palette's kind of, I guess, split into 2. So this side here is going to be your side that's a lot more rich and darker and a lot more sultry looking. Whereas this side, you have all of your light colors. And the palette on the back actually tells you that if you want to, you can use all of the colors on this side, or if you want to go for a more neutral, natural looking look, you can go to this side of the palette. So it gives you a lot of different options and variety. Another reason why I picked up this palette or wanted to was because it's very affordable, it's drugstore, and who doesn't like a nice bargain? And then lastly, of course, the packaging was something that totally drew me in. I am a sucker for packaging. I know it doesn't speak for the product that is inside of the palette, but still there's nothing like looking at your makeup palette just sitting there on your counter and it just looks so cute. And I'll just add in there that the quality of the palette is actually really nice too. It's a nice little acrylic case. It's a little hard to open, but it's really pretty. And sorry for all the glare, I'm sitting in front of a window. See, as you can see, I'm struggling to open it. But yeah, I just really like the packaging. It's really sleek, it's cute, and I love the color of the actual palette. For this particular product, when I saw it and I saw the colors, I definitely wanted to test out the reddish, the brick red, reddish, I guess, eyeshadow color that's really trending right now. But blended with the other colors in the palette, you really can't see the reds in the actual palette. So on the eyes, in photos, which I will also include a few, I don't feel like the red color really pops for me. What I feel about the red colors are that they're not as red as they could be. They're more so a maroon red, so they kind of go more towards like a pinkish red color as opposed to a true red. However, I will say I like to do a cut crease whenever I am doing my makeup because I have monolids. So I need a really dark black color or really dark brown color that's almost black. So that's one of the issues as well, is the fact that I don't just apply, you know, a specific color on my eyes and then slap on some eyeliner. I generally always do a cut crease. So that's kind of on my bad. But I feel like if you were to just be someone who only wanted to go for that really brick red color, that if you didn't do the dark browns or didn't really mix in the dark browns, it would really stand out a lot more than how it looks on my eyes today. For the most part, I think the red colors are very pretty still, and this was not a palette that I intended to use every single day just because there are a lot of the brick red colors and the pinkish colors, but it is definitely a palette that I have used just on a normal day, not for a special occasion makeup. So it really is up to you and your preference. If you happen to pick up this palette, I think it could definitely be used as an everyday palette. My likes and dislikes about this particular palette. I'm gonna actually talk about the application process. So it does have a claim to be creamy and smooth so that it's blendable. Now, a lot of times with matte matte eyeshadow products, you have to be a little bit careful because they can be very chalky and you can get a lot of fallout. So yes, I will say that there is a lot of fallout for this particular product whenever I'm dipping my brushes into each eyeshadow color. Also, I feel like they're not creamy at all. Not a dig to Maybelline whatsoever, but they're just for my personal taste. They're definitely not creamy. They are blendable, but it takes a little bit longer to blend than the makeup product that I use every day, which is my MAC eyeshadow palette that I built myself. And I have that in my products that I use every day video. So yeah, that particular palette, very blendable. I literally can blend every eyeshadow maybe like once through and I feel good about it, and then I do like an overall blend and it works amazing. Whereas for this particular palette, I feel like I have to consistently blend and blend a little bit longer than I normally would. So that would be a downfall, I guess you could say, or a dislike. So my thoughts around the color pigmentation of the actual palette is the fact that actually they come off almost exactly how they look like in the actual pan, with the exception of a few of the lighter colors. I think they look very similar once you actually apply them. But as for the brick red colors or the more maroon colors, those colors definitely pop. So as soon as you get it on your brush and you apply it, you can see immediately that the color definitely shows on your eyelids. So I do appreciate that, but like I said, not every single color is pigmented, but the main colors that I was really shooting for really are. So I don't mind about that, especially because it's such a steal. And what I do also like about this palette was the fact that even though it's a little bit harder to blend, which is something I didn't, you know, not such a big fan of, but even though it's a little bit harder to blend, I still think that this could technically be your day-to-day eyeshadow palette. If you wanted something cheap and affordable, it's definitely doable, just because if you really blend the browns in this palette with the red colors, you're not gonna get that super vibrant red, you know, like fashionista color. You're definitely gonna get warm tone, neutral looking eyes. So I think this palette would be great for some of you out there who are just looking to not break the bank. Would I repurchase this palette or recommend it to a friend? I would recommend this to a friend. If someone came up to me and said, hey, I'm gonna go on a trip this weekend, I feel like I need some new makeup, I would say go to the store and grab yourself the Matte Bar by Maybelline, because they have beautiful colors in there. You can really play around with your look with the red colors, or just tone it down with the more warm tone, neutral brown colors that they have in the palette. Would I repurchase the palette? I would have to say no. And it's not because I don't like it enough. Like I said, I've used it a couple of times already. And of course I wouldn't use it if I didn't like it. If I really didn't like a product, I would just be like, okay, you were just a couple of dollars. Let's just give you away, or just like store you over here where I am never gonna see you or use you again. But I just don't typically repurchase eyeshadow palettes in general unless it's something that I genuinely love or use pretty much the entire thing. So for example, I always repurchase, you know, my face powder because I run out of it and I need it. But with eyeshadows, I don't have to do that necessarily because I play around with a lot of different types of palettes as well. So I never feel like I'm running out of eyeshadow. So I really do not feel like I need to have two of a palette that I love, because now I just feel like I'm wasting money. So for this particular product, I'm gonna have to say no, but I will continue using the product for sure. To summarize it all up, this palette in general and overall, I think is beautiful. I think is very usable and is blendable with other palettes. So I've done a couple of different versions of using this product. I've used it alone and just the entire palette all alone. I used it with blending with other colors that I have that I really love. For example, soft brown, that's my go-to blending color. So that's a good thing to have. I mean, the palette is a lot smaller as well, so you're not really carrying something, an additional product. You are carrying an additional product, but you're not really gonna waste a lot of space if you wanna carry this product with you along with your other eyeshadow palettes. And again, I would definitely recommend this palette to you, especially if you've been just itching to buy a new product to try out. This is not gonna break your bank, so go out there and get yourself one of these palettes from Maybelline. All in all, I really do like this palette. Generally, I know that I don't like a palette if I'm running back to the store and returning it. And girl, I haven't done that yet, so this is definitely something that I will be using again. Thank you all so much for joining me on my channel. I hope you really enjoyed this review. If you want to see more videos from me like this, then please subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!